There is a kind of silence that only exists on the last day of the year. Even if the world around you is busy, loud, full of fireworks, gatherings, or celebrations, something inside you becomes unusually quiet. Almost like your soul is holding its breath. Almost like your heart is trying to tell you something before the year ends. It's a strange heaviness. Not exactly sadness, not exactly fear, and not exactly nostalgia. It's something deeper, something older, something that feels like it has been building inside you for months without ever fully revealing itself. And then, suddenly, on December 31st, it rises to the surface. Oh, you might feel quieter, more reflective, more emotional. You might feel an urge to look back on everything that happened. You might feel the weight of the versions of yourself you lived this year. And you might wonder, why does my heart feel so heavy today? This heaviness is not random. It is not weakness. It is not emotional instability. It is, in many ways, the most spiritual moment of the year. Today we're going to explore why your heart feels heavy on the last day of the year. Why emotions you thought were gone return. Why memories resurface. Why you feel torn between who you have been and who you want to become. And most importantly, how to understand this heaviness so you can enter the new year with clarity instead of confusion. Let's begin with a truth almost everyone feels but rarely acknowledges. The end of the year is not just a date. It is a symbolic ending. It is a spiritual transition. It is a psychological checkpoint. And endings, even symbolic ones, always activate the emotional layers of the heart. The human heart does not respond to the calendar. It responds to meaning. And the last day of the year holds enormous meaning. It represents closure, reflection, transformation, and release. But closure does not happen without weight. Transformation does not happen without emotional movement. Your heart feels heavy because your soul is reorganizing itself. It's like your inner world has been storing small emotional fragments throughout the year, and December 31st is the moment the soul pulls all of them out and says, we need to process this before we move forward. The heaviness you feel is not new. It is accumulated. It is everything you didn't have time, space, or energy to feel earlier. Let's go deeper. One of the reasons your heart feels heavy at the end of the year is because the body remembers everything you tried to ignore. Every emotion you postponed. Every grief you never named. Every disappointment you minimized. Every hope that didn't unfold the way you imagined. Every version of you that didn't make it to the end of the year. The heart holds all of these things like gentle but stubborn reminders. And when the year ends, the heart asks you to release them. This is why the last day of the year feels emotional. Your heart is doing emotional housekeeping. Let me give you an example. Imagine someone named Clara. She started the year hopeful, with goals, with dreams, with emotional energy. But throughout the year, she experienced small heartbreaks, small frustrations, small internal losses. None of them were catastrophic. None of them broke her. But she didn't fully process them either. She just kept going because life demanded movement, responsibility, practicality. Then, suddenly, on the last day of the year, when there's finally a pause, the weight comes back. Not because she is failing, but because she is finally still enough to feel. The heart doesn't speak when you are busy. It speaks when the noise fades. And the last day of the year is full of silence, no matter how loud the outside world is. This heaviness is the heart catching up with everything the mind postponed. Now let's talk about another layer of this emotional weight. The end of the year brings comparison between the life you lived and the life you expected to live. Expectations create emotional gravity. You are not grieving only what happened this year. You are grieving what didn't happen. The relationship you hoped would grow but didn't. The courage you hoped you would find but couldn't. The version of yourself you imagined becoming but weren't ready for. The dreams you outgrew without realizing. The patterns you promised to break but repeated. The opportunities that slipped away. The moments you hoped would be different but weren't. This is subtle grief, but incredibly powerful. This is the type of grief that makes your heart feel heavy without a clear reason. We don't talk enough about the grief of expectations. We think grief belongs only to loss. But sometimes the deepest grief belongs to the things you hoped for. Now let's explore something even more mysterious. On December 31st, the veil between your old self and your new self becomes thinner. There is a version of you that has been growing quietly throughout the year, and on the last day, this version steps forward. But the old version of you does not disappear without leaving a small ache. She wants to be acknowledged. He wants to be honored. They want to be remembered. There is always grief when a chapter closes, even if the next chapter is beautiful. Your heart feels heavy because you are saying goodbye to a version of yourself. A version that carried you here. A version that survived this year. A version that did their best with what they knew. A version that might not come with you into the new year. Goodbyes always feel heavy, even when they are silent, even when they are internal, even when they are right. Now let's talk about relationships. At the end of the year, you may feel the weight of the people you drifted from, the conversations you never had, the apologies you didn't receive, the closures you didn't get, the goodbyes that were never spoken, the people you loved but outgrew, the people who hurt you without realizing, the people you changed for, the people you tried to hold on to but couldn't. Relationships shape the emotional architecture of a year. The end of the year shines a soft but honest light on what relationships fed you and which ones drained you. This creates heaviness because your heart is trying to understand what to bring with you into the next year and what to leave behind. Sometimes your heart feels heavy because it knows certain people won't follow you into the next chapter, even if your mind hasn't admitted it yet. Now let's explore the spiritual perspective. The end of the year activates a deep, ancient instinct in humans. For thousands of years, humans treated year-end not as a calendar event, but as a spiritual threshold. A moment of purification, a moment of reflection, a moment of release, a moment of rebirth. Your soul still remembers that tradition, even if your mind doesn't. You feel heavy on the last day of the year because your soul is preparing to shed an old, energetic layer. The heaviness is the peeling, the shedding, the loosening of what no longer belongs to you. Every ending requires an emotional exhale before the new inhale begins. The heaviness you feel is that exhale. It is your soul saying, let go, make space, open up. A new cycle is coming. Now let's talk about the deeper psychological reason. The last day of the year forces you into introspection. Because the world slows down, your nervous system finally has time to process emotions. And when the nervous system processes emotions, it creates sensations of heaviness, tightness, pressure, or emotional fog. It's not depression, it's integration. Your heart is integrating the emotional experiences of the entire year. That's a big task. Your body is doing something huge internally, and heaviness is part of this integration. But here's something important. Heaviness does not mean something is wrong. Heaviness means something is shifting. When the heart prepares for change, it becomes sensitive. When the soul prepares for a new chapter, it becomes reflective. When the spirit prepares for renewal, it becomes quiet. The heaviness you feel is a sign of transformation, not stagnation. Now let's explore how to hold this heaviness with gentleness. The first step is to accept it. Don't fight it. Don't question it. Don't judge it. Don't try to feel better. Just acknowledge it. Heaviness is your heart speaking. Let it talk. The second step is to name the feeling. You don't need a perfect label. Just name what feels heavy. Is it disappointment? Is it grief? Is it nostalgia? Is it fear of the future? Is it emotional exhaustion? Is it expectations unmet? Is it letting go of a version of yourself? Naming softens the weight. The third step is to honor the version of you that lived through the year. You survived things nobody knows about. You showed up on days you had nothing left. You hoped even when hope was small. You kept going even when life slowed you down. You adapted even when you didn't want to. Your heart feels heavy because it remembers everything you carried. The fourth step is release. Not by force, not by pressure. Release happens through awareness, through breath, through reflection, through silence, through tears, through acceptance. You don't release a year through thinking. You release it through feeling. The final step is intention, not resolutions, not plans, not pressure, just intention. A soft, quiet intention like, I want peace. I want lightness. I want clarity. I want alignment. I want to meet the new year with honesty and softness. I want to carry only what is meant for me. The heaviness begins to loosen when intention enters. And here is the truth your soul already knows. Your heart feels heavy today because you are close to becoming someone new. You are shedding an emotional skin. You are standing in between two versions of your life. You are ending a chapter with grace. And your next chapter is waiting gently on the other side. You are not meant to feel light today. You are meant to feel honest. You don't need to rush this heaviness. You only need to understand it. And if this message found you at the right moment, remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who might be carrying emotional heaviness today. None of us walk into a new year alone. We walk together, with awareness, with compassion, and with open hearts.